The next comment, question comes from YouTuber 13X. And this is in response to the Yamaha SY85, a video I did in April 2020. I can't believe that is two and a half years ago from the point of recording this video. And YouTuber 13X writes, "Hello, nice show. I have an SY85. I love it. Thank God it has never broken down like others. However, I only pay it maybe 50 times since I bought it back in the years you spoke of. When I was 29-year-old but had a bad recession, drove me become an overland road truck driver, separated me from my SY85. But now I'm a local. My interests are to use it. I found this channel. Hope all goes well. I probably one day need to repeat your venture." Yes, the SY85 was a good project actually. The downside to the SY85 was the fact it was given to me as complete and working, and it clearly was not. So, you know, that's where the project came from, really, is the fact that I had to do a lot more work on the SY85 than I thought I was going to have to do. But it made an interesting series of videos, and I hope you all enjoyed them. Anyway, thanks for the comments. Given that the unit has been in storage for so long, one of the things I would definitely do with YouTuber 13X's unit is get a new battery in it before I try to use it in anger. I'm actually impressed the battery is still functioning, if I'm brutally honest, after so long of being in storage. But the battery in the 85 is a stronger version of the coin cell batteries than the standard CR2032 battery that goes in most synths. This was a 2046, if I remember correctly, which has sort of got a little bit more longevity to it. But I'm still very impressed that the battery is still good. And for anybody who wants to know how to replace the battery on an SY85, there is a video on the channel that tells you exactly how to do it, and also how to upgrade the battery if you don't want to put a solder tag battery back in, to put a battery caddy in there, so you can use a standard 2032 battery that it hasn't got the solder tags on it. Remember, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go over to Instagram and follow me there. Go over to Facebook, follow me there. That's where the normal notices are. And consider becoming a Patreon. Next question, comment comes from Sebastian Schmidt. In response to how to connect the Roland ARIA instruments via USB to your Roland MX1. Video I did in August 2019. And he writes, "I'm a beginner and I want to connect my TR8s with my MX1 and my MV1 too. How to connect, and what must be the settings on the TR8s and MV1? I sent here settings, audio via USB, or please help." That's an interesting one to answer. First thing to do is ensure that every one of your devices is upgraded to the latest firmware. I say that because I have found that if it's not on the latest firmware, you can have some real interesting issues. There may be videos on the site for the MX1, so if you look at my YouTube channel, you'll find a number of videos about how to upgrade your equipment, so just go look those up, follow those. But I don't have a TR8s, I have a TR8. I never bothered to buy the TR8s, and I don't have an MV1, so you might need a different tutorial source for those particular instruments. The issue with the MV1 is that the last Roland MX update was prior to the MV1's release and did not state support specifically for the MV1. It is unlikely you'll be able to get the USB to work correctly for either MIDI or audio on the MX1 because of this. Now you might be lucky because Roland included the MV1 in the update process, but they never listed it. So it is very possible that they haven't put support into the MX1 for it. You might need to use effectively go back to the old school way of doing it with a 5-pin DIN cable to send clock to your MV1, and use the inputs 1, 2, 3 and 4 as in the 1/4 inch jacks to get the audio off the MV1 into the MX1. The TR8, I understand, uses the same code base as the TR8. Sorry, the TR8s uses the same code base as the TR8, and therefore I think it will be supported from both an audio and a MIDI perspective, using the USB ports. That's my understanding. I haven't got one to test. In both the NV1 and the TR8s, you will either need to set the clock to external or auto. My experience of setting clocks on ARIA devices is take the clock from the MX1, don't take or a drum machine, don't take the clock from the device itself. So you may need to sort of fiddle around with the settings. And the other thing I find is auto doesn't always work, because what auto tries to do is it tries to do an auto negotiate to find out where the clock source is, and if it can't find the clock source, it then just defaults back to the internal, which can really fox you. So if you know it's definitely external, put it to external. And the other thing you need to tell the TR8s and the MV1 is how you're actually communicating in terms of sends and receives of MIDI signals. Are you using the DIN cable, or are you using the USB cable? So you need to tell the unit which one to use, and there will be instructions in the relevant manual that will tell you how to do that. I'm hoping that will inform your setup.